Ever Crisis, Aeriths FF9 banner, TLDR, let's go. So first of all, I do want to say that I think the weapon on this banner is absolutely terrible, but the outfit is amazing, so do with that information as you will. I will explain a little more shortly. But there is only one featured character and weapon on this banner, as opposed to the two that we are used to, and this does have an impact on the banner. So, typically, the featured stuff is 1%, and the wishlist stuff is 0.8. On this banner, they have, in fact, changed this. The featured stuff is 1%, and the wishlist is now 1% as well. This goes really nice with my opinion of not liking the weapon banner, because I can get 5% chance of a wishlist weapon, and only 1% of getting the banner weapon, so that's really nice. So what I'm doing, and I think you should be doing if you agree with my statement in this video, is pull on this banner anyway, get the free one right here so you can just have one to say that you have it, and you can always overboost it later with Aerith specific weapon pieces if you choose to. Get the outfit and then go back to banner 1 or banner 3, you know, if you're a Sephiroth main. That is totally fine, but in the meantime, hope that you just get wishlist stuff on the way. So, let's jump into the stuff that is on the banner. First of all, the outfit looks absolutely incredible, absolutely fantastic job, Square. If your Aerith is a healer in any way, shape, or form, whether that be fully healer or DPS/healer, this is the best outfit in the game for you. Boost heal, obvious, okay? You get why. Boost HP, it's universal, it works on any character, it works on any build, it is super useful. You might be able to mitigate 2 weapon slots in your sub-weapons because you have boost HP and heal in here instead. You might be able to put power on the other 3, or you can just take these and stick them on top of your regular stuff and just be absolutely gods, like just god tier stats. Then we have the weapon. So to clarify, I believe the weapon is terrible for its move and not the rest of it. The rest of it's actually quite good. Our abilities, boost HP and boost ability potency. This is nice, but I think this is actually better on Cloud and Tifa from the last banner because they also have the same things. The support material you're probably never going to use. This will probably not be in your main hand. It'll be in your second hand because your Fairy Tail or your Sun Umbrella or something will be in your main hand. But attack, magic, and magic, pretty damn nice. But let's get into the weapon itself. It has a bit of regen and it has a small magic heal. That's kind of nice, but it's not really worth much. I'll give you 5 points for it. They're kind of just sprinkles on top of the cake. It's not that big of a deal. Regen is nice, but eh. Magic attack is increased with a potency of mid, so that is 2 ticks, for a duration of 30 seconds with a max potency of high, which is 3 ticks. Now, for this weapon to be at full efficiency, all 3 of your characters must be magic dealers. Otherwise, for every character in your team that is not a magic dealer, this weapon is ineffective for them, meaning you lose 33.33 recurring % usefulness of this weapon. So if you spent a bunch of blue crystals on the last banner and got the best weapon in the game, which is Cloud's weapon right now, yeah, this weapon doesn't help you at all. So I'm sorry to hear that. But I have a better scenario for you. So, here are more reasons as to why I feel like this weapon is better. And while we're at it, I do have a question for you, because when I seen this weapon, I did know immediately that I was going to dislike it, and, you know, I was going to make a video stating that I disliked it regardless and explain why, but I wanted to wait for the other content creators to put out their videos before I did, just in case I was overlooking something. They have put out their videos, or at least some of them have. I've seen those videos, and I still disagree. They enjoy the weapon, I don't. Now, here's my question. I actually enjoy the fact that our opinions differ because I feel like you as the viewer, you probably watch multiple of us at the same time. Myself and Octo and Painblade and Pleo and whoever else, right? You probably watch a bunch of us at the same time. Now, what's nice about my opinion differing from theirs is that you get both sides of the story. And you can make a decision on the banner based on 100% of the information instead of only 50% of the information if we were to all agree. Nobody's telling you the reasons why you shouldn't. So my question to you is, in my future videos where I discuss things like this, would you like me to deal with both sides of the story? So that I can tell you why I think it's good and why I think it's bad, all the reasons I can possibly think of, and then you walk away with 100% of at least my information that I could think of. And I feel like that would help you in your decision making. Let me know down below if that's something that you feel like is a good idea. Now, here is why I feel like this weapon is infinitely better than using the other one. The Night Bloom will decrease the physical defense and the magical defense of the enemy, both of them. Now, this is useful, first of all, to get rid of that initial problem we had. This allows you to have your physical damage dealers with you and not lose any efficiency. Your basic attacks are going to be dealing your physical damage, so granted, it's not much, but a point is a point. Your physical dealers are now useful again, which is great. And as well as that, because it's physical and magic decrease, your limit breaks make full use of this. Because if you were not aware, your limit breaks and your summons will take the damage from your magic attack and your physical attack, smush them together, times it by the percent of the ability's move, and that is your damage. So this is doubly as effective for your limit breaks as it would be for just buffing yourself. Let alone the fact that if you debuff the enemy, it also benefits all three of your characters. You could buff, let's say you're Aerith and you're in the middle. You've got your guy on your left, your ally. Buff that guy, only that guy is benefiting from it. You would have to buff that guy, the guy on your right, and yourself to make the same sort of, to equate to just debuffing the one enemy. Because if you debuff the one enemy, all three of your characters benefit from it. Now, you could argue, statistically, debuffing the enemy is not the same as buffing yourself. If it's percent-based, I don't know the maths and the statistics behind buffs and debuffs just yet, but if they're not the same, I will adhere to that, but as of right now, I don't feel like the difference would be that much anyway. You are better off just debuffing the enemy. You are saving yourself how many turns? Instead of buffing that guy, and buffing yourself, just debuff the enemy. You're saving a bunch of ATB in doing so. At the same time, instead of just buffing your ally, and only that ally benefiting, you are also dealing damage whilst debuffing the enemy. At the same time, you could crit too. So that's also a big reason as to why you are now useful for three ways, physical defense, magic defense, and damage. 3 ways you are being useful instead of the 1 way with the other weapon. You're also getting boost magic attack and boost magic ability potency, which both help you with the move of this weapon. This damage is magical, so you're going to be dealing more damage with these equipped, and at the same time your materia is going to be affected by those as well, so it's even higher. They are all the reasons why I believe that this is going to be better. Now, a counter-argument to this could be that sometimes there are more than one enemy. Buffing yourself in those scenarios will affect all of the enemies, your damage across all enemies, whereas debuffing one enemy doesn't affect the other 2 in the fight. But typically, the ads die real quick, and there's one boss that you have to focus on for quite a while. So in those scenarios, this is totally fine. It doesn't negatively impact this whatsoever. The only true negative to this is that, yes, there are certain enemies that cannot be debuffed, and in those scenarios, then yes, buffing yourself is better anyway. And if you are a Sephiroth main and you were looking at using that weapon instead of using your Anelbi, think about how much ATB are you really saving? Just have Sephiroth buff himself. You're losing one move at the beginning of the fight, and you're exchanging it for dealing more damage anyway with this, as well as it's benefiting all 3 of your characters instead of 1. So just have your Sephiroth buff himself, and then whenever the buff wears off, buff himself again. This is infinitely better. Okay. So my idea for this banner, the way that I think it should be, is that, you're going to go in, you're going to pull on this banner anyway, just get the weapon get the outfit because it's amazing, and just pray that you don't get the banner weapon, because you're going to get one for free anyway in this stamp card. Just to have one if you're a collector and you want one of everything, fantastic, that works great for you, but you can still overboost it in the future anyway with the character-specific weapon parts, and that is just super useful. So, yeah. Last thing that I want to discuss is the actual event itself. This will only be a moment. The new EX1 for the section that came out this morning, I am personally struggling with a lot. This is very, very difficult. He will freeze me and then deal 50k damage. It feels like it's impossible, but I don't actually think that this fight has been spec'd to be beat now. Based on this announcement. On November 19th, we're getting a new chapter for FF7. We're getting 2 new Crisis Dungeons. By the way, that's 1,500 blue gems each if you can S or above them. 1,000 each if you just complete them in general. And then the story crystals too, so that's nice. Level uncap of 60. This is what I think that the fight has been balanced for. I think that they're aiming for you to be level 60 and then take on that fight. So if you can't beat it right now, don't worry about it too much. Hit that level 60 and yeah, that is everything. So if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, sub if you're not, and I will catch you in the next TLDR video.